Good midday, good midday, good midday, good midday, good midday. Ah, another glorious Friday. We made it. Made it to the weekend, made it through the week. God blessed us. Even if you don't think He did, yes, He did. God sustained us. Even though you don't think He did, yes, He did. God maintained us. Even though you may not think He did, yes, He did. And He's got enough to bring us through, to see about us, to provide for us, and to make ways that we pay absolutely no attention to whatsoever. And for that, we bless His name. For that, we praise Him. For that, we magnify Him. Jemison, Minister Sarah, bless you. You know, we sing that song, Count Your Blessings. If you just take a moment and begin to count up all that God has done for you, you run out of numbers. Sabrina, Cora, Linda, thank you all so much for being here on this wonderful Friday. Wonderful Friday. Overcast, yes, still a wonderful Friday. A little drizzly, yeah, wonderful Friday. We bless the Lord for each and every one of you. Kathy, Tom, bless you for being here. Grateful, 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 grateful. And let me get this out here now, and I hope I remember to do it at the end of this moment. Um, it may not be a snapshot Monday because I will be coming back. I'm leaving right after morning worship, and I'm headed to London, Ohio, and I'm going to be there so that I can be a part of the installation service for Dr. Lane. I'm one of his mentors, and the Lord has blessed him, and so we're going to be there with him. Bobby McKenzie, Tamika, bless you. It is a wonderful Friday. I'm trying to tell you, we could be putting pieces back together of shattered homes from tornadoes. We could have been vacuuming out water out of flooded basements or homes. It is all right like it is. Believe me, it is all right. So I'm asking that you pray my strength, because I will, as soon as I get done preaching, I'm going to be on the road. And so I'm asking that you would do so, because it takes a little over 3 hours for me to get there. And so I'm grateful, 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 grateful. You know, we sing that song, grateful, grateful. Yeah, yeah. Are we really? Yes, we are. And if we're not, my challenge is going to be that you learn to be. That you learn to thank God that it is as well as it is. And so we want to welcome each and every one of you being a part of this moment, part of this learning session, part of this time that we come. Don't forget about class on Saturday. I sent the email out. It's the same link that we've been using, and we'll keep you from 10 to probably about 11:15, and then that's what I'm saying. I got such a full week. This week was crazy. Next week is crazy. I'll be down in Steubenville on Saturday for Pastor Jeff Stanford's installation, and again, I'm going to an installation Sunday afternoon. We'll be at another one Saturday, and everything in between goes in there. But let me talk to you for just a moment. Let me. I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to see if you figure out what I'm saying, or how I'm saying it. Sherry, how are you? Why are we not satisfied with what God is? Now I'm going to see if you catch, because I left a little piece of it out of there just to see if you catch where I'm coming from. Why are we not satisfied with what God is? Sister Thomas, bless you for being here. Let me add a little bit more to it and see if you can catch what I'm saying. Carolyn, Thea, Linda Brown, why are we not satisfied with what God says is good? And what am I talking about? I'm not talking about stuff, things, or family. I'm talking about us individually. God, I got something I want to read. Cecile, how are you? Tell Larry we said hello. Psalm 139, verse 13 says something that I think needs to be echoed from the housetop. Psalm 139, verse 13 says, "You formed my inward parts. You wove me in my mother's womb." Barbara, listen what he said. Listen what he says. You formed my inward. In other words, everything that's functioning in me, you formed. And then you wove me in my mother's womb. Now listen, if God says, Minister Marcia, if God says I'm good, why do I always look for the bad in myself? Carolyn Williams, if God says I am fearfully and wonderfully made, why is it I never see that I am? And I'm going to deal with this, Elder James, because I believe, and I'm going to get in trouble for saying it, but I'm going to say it. Too many of us, Linda Williams, bless you, are looking in the wrong mirror. Oh, woo, woo, woo. Too many of us are looking in the wrong mirror. Thank you, Janice, for letting me know all is well. Lynn, how are you? Too many of us, when we look in the mirror, we don't look in the mirror of ourselves. We look in the mirror of the comparison to somebody else. If I would just recognize that God created me in the best that I could ever be, then I will quit looking in someone else's mirror for what I think is perfection in somebody else when God has already perfectly made me. Don't make me shout. Don't make me holler. Don't make me cause our problem is, Cora, if we would take the time, Gladys, bless you, if we would take the time and examine the uniqueness of who we are made in his image and unto his likeness. If we would take the time and examine how we are constructed and how that there's not, even with identical twins, there are differences. Vernice, bless you for being here. So here's what we have to understand. Roger Taylor, my friend, bless you. Bless you. Bless you. You know what, Roger? Elder Roger, shut up, man. Don't get me started. Love you, man. Listen. Sister Thomas, this is what we do. And you just pinned it right there. We shortchange ourselves because we're busy looking in someone else's mirror. If I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, if he created my inward parts, he knows every functionality of myself, and then he wove me, the uniqueness of who I am, in my mother's womb before I was produced into reality. Bless his holy name. Then what I need to understand is that rather than looking in the mirror of what I consider you to be the means of perfection, I will start to look in the mirrors of my own reality and recognize that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Now, that is not an arrogant statement, because God says we are fearfully and wonderfully made. God says we are the head and not the tail. God says we are unique. We are his workmanship. Valerie, bless you, praying that dad's doing good. I wish I had somebody, Elamate, I wish I had somebody who's catching where I'm coming from. So when I look in the mirror of my own self, rather than looking at you and looking at you and looking at you and looking at you and looking at everybody else, I begin to recognize the uniqueness, okay? The uniqueness, Minister Faye, of what's going on in my life. And here's what happens, Elder Roger. Here's what happens when I begin to settle in on what God, let me say, why are we not satisfied with what God is satisfied with? Why are we not satisfied with what God is satisfied with? If God wasn't satisfied with the uniqueness of your own existence, he would have altered it and changed it. Bless his holy name. That's the shout right there, y'all. That's the shout. That's the shout right. That's the shout right there. And many of us want to shout on other stuff. But the fact that I got up this morning, the fact that I'm still functional, the fact that when I look in the mirror, yep, I see imperfections in myself. But guess what? It's okay because I serve a perfect God. And so I no longer compare. I no longer do the litmus test in your mirror because I'm too busy trying to make sure I get the right reflection in mine. When I know who I am, and when I know who I am, I quit trying to be you. Debbie Patterson, bless you. Thank you. Listen, when I know who I am, I quit trying to be you. I'm all right with who I am. I've settled into understanding that I don't care if I'm as ugly as dirt. I'm still unique. Barbara Harper, how's it going down in Columbus? Y'all not catching this. Y'all not catching this. I want you to catch this. Wide nose, narrow nose, nappy hair, good hair, big eyes, small eyes, buck eyes, retreated eyes. All of that stuff still constitute what God says is good. Lord Jesus. Giovanni, how are you? Elder James, did you catch that? And when I settle in on what God says he created me to be, that I don't have to compete with you. I don't have to act like you. I ain't got to be like you. Because guess what? The me that I am is a beautiful, powerful me. Because what? I'm anointed by God to be who I am. Woo! Is that the shout? Is that the shout? Elder Pamela, listen to what I'm saying. I want to make sure that you're catching this because this is overwhelmingly important. Denise, because too many of us are not happy with who we are because we're so busy looking at another mirror. What drives me crazy, and I'm only going to be in here a couple more minutes. There are all of these commercials out here that are designed to cover imperfections. Teeth ain't white enough. Got something for that. Hair falling out. Got something for that. Funguses. Got something for that. Are y'all with me? Can't see. Want to change the color? Yeah, got something for that. Hair, weave, wig. Got something for that. There is always something that man makes money off of on what we consider to be imperfections. Okay. Y'all wasn't ready for me. Y'all wasn't ready for me today. Y'all weren't ready for me today. You got to remember that when you know who you are, when you know that God has chose you to be fashioned the way you are. So what if you're not tall? So what if you're short? So what if you're a little dumpy? So what if you done gain a little weight? You know what I'm talking about. So what if you're skinny as a rail? Listen to what I'm saying. Other people may not embrace you, but you don't need their embrace because you've been developed by God to be the unique person you are. And when you know who you are, then you can begin to perform major ministry in the lives of other people. Why? Because you are no longer dealing with the inferiorities that you created yourself or the inferiorities that popped up because someone else injected the venom of disillusionment and despondency within yourself. You learn who you are. And it's not that you call or create a persona of yourself. I'm better than, no. I have to take the time out to see what God said was good about me, whether you think it's good or not. Now, here's the challenge. Don't get all hyped up with me because I'm saying it. Let's see what you do when the chat is over. Let's see how you act when the snapshot is over. Let's see how you do this. Okay. Yeah, are y'all catching what I'm saying? See, because I'm to the point now in the midst of what God is permitting me to teach, to recognize that what I am depositing into you must also reproduce itself outside of the session. So when I put on my little rags that I got, I'm gonna wear them. If I ain't got no good rags to wear, I'm gonna press the raggedy rags. I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm gonna comb my hair. I'm gonna brush my teeth. I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm not gonna walk with my head down just because somebody else appears to be better than me or better off than me or living better than me. Because guess what? Can I help y'all? I'm still living. I might not have a whole lot of money in the bank, but I got me a whole ton of Jesus on the inside of my life. And because of that, he has declared that there ain't another one like me. God has done whatever needs to be done. He says, you formed my inward parts. You wove me in my mother's womb. Now here's where I want to hang my hat. Even if you were mistakenly conceived. Trina, even if you were birthed out of wedlock, even if you were birthed into a dysfunctional family that gave you the feeling that nobody else wanted you, listen to me. You would have never been conceived if God did not ordain the conception. Listen, God don't control sex. You do. The reproductive process is a natural process that God created. So if you were birthed out of wedlock, who gives a good God dog whether you were or not? The point that you have to understand is I'm still fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm still the head and not the tail. And the problem is I've got to learn in the midst of what other people consider to be dysfunction or illegitimacy. I must also know that I might be illegitimate to you, but in the sight of God, I'm the best thing he could have ever made. Listen, y'all have a great weekend. Y'all enjoy your weekend. I'm trying to cut the snapshot down a little bit so I'm not on as much as I am because it's supposed to be a snapshot, which means it's supposed to be in here and gone. Listen, have a great week. Don't know about Monday. I'll be coming back from way over on the other side of Columbus for the installation service. My prayer, don't forget about those that can. Last notice class is Saturday at 10 a.m. The link is the same link as before. I sent it back out again. And we're going to keep you about an hour on Saturday morning. Listen, I got to go. Got a lot to do. Love you with the love of Jesus, who is the Christ. May God bless you. May he keep you is our prayer.